These 8 British idioms will make 90% of learners jealous of your fluency. How many do you already know?
Discover the secret phrase that turns awkward delays into charming small talk.
Learn why letting the cat out of the bag has nothing to do with cats and the hidden British secret to sounding poetic every single day.
Stick around for the quiz, if you dare, to see if you're in the top 10% or just under the weather with beginner vibes.
What you'll learn in this episode.
The British phrase that instantly makes delays sound graceful, not awkward.
Why blue moons aren't about astronomy, but the secret to sounding poetic in English.
How to hack a controversial sounding idiom for maximum efficiency without the cringe.
The unspoken signal natives use to say, "I'm listening." Hint, it's not just nodding.
Hey learners, fun here with Fluent. Today's vocabulary preview dives into 8 juicy idioms from our main episode. No fluff, just the good stuff.
Exactly. Each idiom comes with simple definitions, pronunciation tips, and real-life examples. Ready to sound like a native? Let's roll.
Call it a day. Definition: stop working for the day. Example: after 6 hours of studying, I called it a day and watched Netflix.
Better late than never. Definition: doing something late is better than not doing it. Example: I finally installed Fluent. Better late than never, right?
Once in a blue moon. Definition: very rarely. Example: I eat pizza once in a blue moon, maybe twice a year. Use this for things you almost never do.
Under the weather. Definition: feeling slightly sick. Example: can't party tonight, I'm under the weather. Not for hospitals. Use it for colds or tiredness.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Definition: achieve 2 goals at once. Example: I killed 2 birds by using Fluent while jogging. Learn English and burn calories.
Up in the air. Definition: uncertain, undecided. Example: our picnic plans are up in the air because of rain. Pronounce the air like the air. Smooth.
All ears. Definition: fully listening. Example: tell me your idea, I'm all ears. Great for showing you care, not for eavesdropping.
Let the cat out of the bag. Definition: accidentally reveal a secret. Example: she let the cat out about the surprise party. Oops.
Want these idioms stuck in your brain forever?
Listen to this episode once more this week. Repetition equals magic.
Seriously, replay it while cooking, commuting, or chilling. Your brain will thank you later.
And hey, try using 1 idiom today. You've got this.
Have you ever noticed how some English speakers just sound so natural and fluent? Like they just have this way with words.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, one of the secrets is definitely their mastery of idioms.
Idioms, right?
You see those phrases, where the meaning isn't immediately obvious just from the individual words.
Yeah.
And today we're going to deep dive into 10 of these lovely daily idioms that'll instantly boost your English fluency.
Yeah. We're taking inspiration from a British English speaker today, so you'll get a real feel for how these idioms are used in everyday conversations.
Exactly. So consider this your crash course in sounding like a native speaker.
Yeah.
All right, so by the end of this deep dive, our mission is to make you so familiar with these 10 idioms that you'll not only understand them, but also feel confident using them yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And to kick things off, let's start with to call it a day.
Okay, to call it a day. So imagine you've had a super productive day. You've been working hard. You've ticked off everything on your to-do list, maybe even gone above and beyond. And then comes that point where you're like, all right, I'm done. I've done enough.
Yeah.
That's basically what to call it a day means. It's about recognizing when it's time to stop working or doing something for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Usually because you're either tired or you just feel like you've accomplished enough.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how that middle A in a day often sounds more like, ah.
Oh, absolutely. You'll rarely hear people say, call it a day. It's much more natural to say, call it a day.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, let's call it a day.
Exactly, yeah.
Our source actually gave a brilliant example of this. Imagine like a day where you've been teaching, filming, brewing your own beer, making your cheesecake, tidying up.
Wow.
By 9:30 p.m., you'd probably be like, I am calling it a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, even if there's still things left to do, you've earned that break.
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be that late, does it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's more about that feeling of, okay, I'm good for now.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. And it's not just for personal stuff. You'll hear this a lot at work too. Like a boss might say to their team, all right, everyone, good work today. Let's call it a day.
Right, exactly. Okay, moving on to our next idiom. This one's a classic. Better late than never.
Yeah, better late than never. This one is so useful, especially in those slightly awkward situations where you've maybe missed a deadline or you're running behind schedule.
Oh, tell me about it.
And it's really about acknowledging that, yes, it would have been ideal to do something on time.
Right.
But it's still better to do it eventually than not at all.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what I've noticed? That error at the end of better and never. It's not really a strong error sound, is it?
Yeah.
It's more like better than never.
Exactly. It's that schwa sound again, just like in call it a day.
Right. So our source talked about sending a late baby gift to a friend.
Yeah.
And their baby was born prematurely. And then, there was travel, there was illness, things got delayed.
Yeah.
But including that, better late than never in the card.
Yeah. It just adds a nice reassuring touch,
It does, doesn't it?
Like, I haven't forgotten and I'm here.
Exactly, yeah.
Now for our third idiom. I love this one. Once in a blue moon. It's so visual.
Oh, I love idioms that involve celestial bodies.
Me too.
Once in a blue moon. This one paints such a vivid picture in your mind, doesn't it?
It does.
And it essentially means very rarely, like something that happens almost never.
Yeah. The speaker we referenced, they said they only drink champagne once in a blue moon.
Oh, wow.
And for them, that's maybe like, once every 6 months or so?
Yeah.
For a special occasion?
For a really special occasion.
Exactly. So it's not something that's part of your regular routine. You could use it for anything, really. Like you could say, I go hiking once in a blue moon, or I eat spicy food once in a blue moon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that you do very infrequently, and when you say it, really emphasize blue and moon. Those are the words that carry the meaning. Once in a blue moon. Okay, our next idiom is something I'm sure we've all felt at some point. Under the weather.
Oh yeah, under the weather. This is a very common way to say that you're feeling a bit unwell or ill.
Yeah, like not seriously ill, but just not quite yourself.
Exactly. Maybe you have a cold or you're just feeling a bit run down.
Right.
And it's definitely an informal phrase. You wouldn't use it in a formal situation like calling in sick to work.
Right. In that case, it's better to say something like, I'm not feeling well.
Exactly. Under the weather is more for casual conversations with friends, family, or even close colleagues.
Yeah. The example that was given was a friend canceling coffee plans because she was feeling really under the weather.
Yeah, it's a way to let someone know you're not feeling your best without going into too much detail.
Exactly. And don't forget that at the end of under, and weather, it's that schwa sound again, so it's more like unto the weather.
Foot into the weather, exactly.
All right, idiom number 5. To cut a long story short. This is a lifesaver when you're telling a story and you realize you're getting a bit carried away.
It happens to the best of us.
Oh, it does, it does.
Yeah.
So, to cut a long story short is basically a way of saying, look, I'm going to skip over all the unnecessary details and get straight to the point.
Exactly. It's about being concise and respecting your listener's time.
Yeah, absolutely. Our source gave a couple of great examples. One was about someone who loved music, but then, to cut a long story short, they ended up studying English literature at university.
Oh, wow.
So there's obviously a whole story there, but they're just giving you the end result.
Exactly. And it makes you curious, doesn't it?
It does. Like, what happened there?
Yeah.
The other example was about someone taking a taxi home. And to cut a long story short, they ended up lost in a completely different city.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine the full version of that story?
It must have been quite the adventure.
Well, I bet. So yeah, to cut a long story short is your go-to phrase when you need to be brief. And when you say it, make sure you emphasize those last 3 words. Story short.
Story short, yeah. All right, let's move on to idiom number 6. This one is a bit more visual and maybe a tiny bit violent, but it has a really useful meaning. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I know the imagery is a bit, well, strong.
Yeah, it's not the most pleasant image.
But the meaning is all about efficiency. It's about achieving 2 things at once with just 1 action.
Exactly. Like, for example, our source talked about listening to podcasts or audiobooks while going for a walk.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. You're getting exercise and learning something new at the same time.
It's all about being productive, isn't it? And a quick note on pronunciation. Remember that bird is pronounced more like bird, not beard.
Bird, right. Okay, idiom number 7 is all about uncertainty. Up in the air.
Up in the air. This one is perfect for describing situations where things are undecided, uncertain, or still in flux.
Yeah, like when you're waiting for news or a decision and you're kind of in limbo.
Exactly. The example that was given was a friend who was selling her flat and looking for a new house.
Yeah.
Her life was basically up in the air because she didn't know where she was going to live next.
Right, everything was uncertain. And if you asked her how she was doing, she might say, oh, everything's up in the air at the moment.
Exactly. And for pronunciation, try saying the air almost as one word with less emphasis on the.
The air. Okay. Now for idiom number 8. To be all ears.
I love this one because it's all about giving someone your full attention.
It's a lovely expression, isn't it? It's like saying, I'm completely focused on you. Tell me everything.
Yeah. Like, imagine a friend comes to you with something important they need to talk about. You could say, I'm all ears. What's up?
Exactly. And it shows them that you're genuinely interested and ready to listen without distractions.
Yeah. It's especially important these days with so many things vying for our attention. Yeah, absolutely. And you can also use it in more formal settings. Like if someone's presenting an idea in a meeting, you could say, I'm all ears, to show that you're engaged.
Right. And I've noticed that the R in ears sometimes sounds more like a Z, depending on the accent.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, moving on to idiom number 9, see eye to eye.
See eye to eye. Now, this one is often used when people have different opinions or perspectives.
Exactly. To see eye to eye with someone means to agree with them. But more often than not, you'll hear it in the negative, don't see eye to eye, to describe disagreement.
Yeah. Like you might say, those 2 colleagues just don't see eye to eye on this project.
Exactly. Or, more generally, we just don't see eye to eye on anything.
Right. And when pronouncing 2, remember it's more like tuh, not 2.
Exactly. Tuh. Okay, and for our final idiom, we have one that's all about secrets being revealed. To let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, to let the cat out of the bag. I love the imagery here.
It's quite a vivid one, isn't it? It basically means to reveal a secret, often unintentionally or prematurely.
Yeah, like you accidentally spill the beans.
Exactly. And the cat represents the secret, while the bag is like your mouth, trying to keep it contained.
Our source actually almost did this. They nearly revealed their sister's engagement to their mother before the sister had a chance to announce it herself.
Oh, that's classic letting the cat out of the bag. It's that excitement of wanting to share good news, but then realizing you need to keep it under wraps.
Exactly. And even though it's a very common idiom, it's probably not the best one to use in super formal situations.
Yeah, it's definitely more informal. And when you say it, put the emphasis on cat. Let the cat out of the bag.
Let the cat out of the bag. Perfect.
So there you have it.
10 lovely daily idioms to make your English sound more natural and fluent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And remember, the best way to really master these idioms is to start using them yourself.
So think about which ones resonated with you, which ones you can see yourself using in your own conversations.
Yeah.
And just give it a try. You'll be surprised how quickly they become a natural part of your English vocabulary.
Definitely.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll even start coming up with your own creative ways to use them.
Yeah.
So go forth and idiomify your English.
Quiz time.
Let's test your understanding of today's idioms. Ready?
Question 1. What does call it a day mean? A. Start working early. B. Stop working for the day. C. Plan a weekend trip.
Question 2. Your friend sends a birthday gift a month late. What idiom fits? A. Kill two birds with one stone. B. Better late than never. C. Let the cat out of the bag.
Question 3. Which situation is once in a blue moon? A. Drinking coffee daily. B. Hiking every weekend. C. Winning the lottery.
Question 4. I'm under the weather means A. I love rainy days. B. I'm feeling unwell. C. I'm wearing a jacket.
How'd you do?
Whether you aced it or stumbled, keep practicing these idioms. They'll stick like glue. Catch you next episode for more wordy adventures.
Time to cement these idioms with a story.
Imagine you're a language learner having a chaotic but relatable day. You call it a day after hours of studying, but your brain feels under the weather. You grab headphones to kill two birds with one stone, resting and listening to Fun Fluent's bite-sized lessons. Shh, it's a secret weapon. Suddenly, your friend texts, dinner plans are up in the air, my boss spilled project details. You're all ears, but oops, you accidentally let the cat out of the bag about her surprise party. She laughs, better late than never, but maybe save drama for a once-in-a-blue-moon occasion.
Replay this story daily. Your brain will soak up idioms like a sponge. Next week, why embarrassing moments turbocharge fluency. Stay curious.